very ones that tried to hold you down, they're going to see you promoted. Now don't live stressed out trying to guard your reputation, guard your heart.
It's about walls and weapons. It's about what you climb over, and it's about what you focus on. And that is the message God gave me to give you, is that He has put a hope in a future ahead of you.
They're not smarter than you. God don't love them more than He loved you. It's just that they thought themselves into a different position.
The willingness to improve yourself, the willingness to fight for a better life, the willingness to do what's required to make yourself stand out. There will be haters.
You break down your goal in these digestible pieces. You've heard that old cliche, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Just don't give up. I think my greatest testimony in life is I'm still here. I just didn't quit. I didn't give up. I'm just still here.
I want to speak some faith into the room today. Some of you who have been going through a season of suffering, look towards the chain breaker. That's where your help comes from. God breaks chains.
It's about the gift of the gab, conversation, having social skills, knowing how to move and maneuver, and having opportunities to present itself.
The biggest depression of my life is you get caught up into helping so many people out, and it's great, and I love that, but you lose yourself in all of that.
I've discovered that you can be sincere and work hard all your life and wind up broke and embarrassed. You've got to be better than a good worker. You've got to be a good planner, a good goal setter.
I had positive emotions too. I was invigorated. I mean, I don't mean this unkindly, but during a difficult time, the darkest time is when the leader goes, touchdown, hello, this is why I'm born, this is what I do. I was born for this.
Nobody's happy who doesn't get to be themselves, right? So the eyes and ears of the world are starting to demand more and more authenticity, where you gotta say what's true for you and live or die by what that is.
Life has no limitations. So you have to do what you have to do. And I mean, by your own definition, you do the things that you're excited about and you're passionate about.
Make the decision to not live offended, upset, trying to pay people back, and God will take care of your reputation. He's heard every negative comment that was said about you. The insult, the disrespect, the betrayals, He's going to make it up to you. You do your part and stay on the wall. Keep doing great things.
You will not see this future by watching somebody else's bow. Your future, your fruit, your future, your focus. They do what they do. They are who they are. They say what they say. They go where they go. They leave when they leave. They stay when they stay. They are not God. I am not God. He makes my hands strong.
You know, like, I have no education. I'm not really like a school book dude. I'm not really smart. I don't know a lot of them. But you can't out-dream me. You can't out-grind me. You can't out. So if you grab that concept, folks, it changes your life.
There will be people that will stand in your way. There will be people that will laugh at you and try and prevent you from doing it. I'm telling you what I know. And they can make you bitter or make you better. I'm gonna be so good that one day they're gonna call me. I won't call them.
How to go for your goals and keep moving even in tough times is this. Enlist a friend to walk with me. Enlist a friend to walk with me for support and for accountability. You see, trying to accomplish a goal entirely on your own can be lonely, can be overwhelming. Success is never a one-person job. It's always a team.
I plan to be here until the day I die. People ask me all the time, are you going to retire? What in the world would I do with myself if I retired? This is all I know how to do. Retirement. God will give you a fresh fire. How do you feel about yourself? That's really the first thing that you got to get straight between you and God, is God loves you unconditionally.
Let me tell you something. God isn't the one who quits. We're the ones who quit. Because the suffering and the burden, so often it gets too heavy on our life and we think these chains are too awkward that we quit. But I want to encourage you, as you get the right perspective on perseverance, it will produce joy. And as you get joy, you're going to find strength.
Hustle, out of sight, out of mind. And when you see somebody and they got opportunity all over their face, because you know who they are, you know what they're about, do your research. Find out who these people are. Find out where they hang out at. Find out the restaurants they like eating at and hanging out at. If you're broke and you're financially barely holding on, get to these spots, order an orange juice and leave.
What changed me was I had to be hard on myself.
Yep.
And I had to continue to grind myself into a fine dust.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. That's where I feel good. I feel like I accomplished something. If things come easy, it's not fun. I must fail at something repeatedly. It has to haunt me.
The people who fail to plan are planning to fail. It's true. So work on your plans. Put yourself in the top few percent who put this power to work for themselves. Writing your goals down also shows you are serious. And to do better, you must get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you do have to be serious.
They need to see that. They need to see your good days, but they need to see your bad days. Remember, people don't want a perfect leader. They want an authentic leader. They'll connect with you. If you want to impress people, talk about your success, but if you want to impact people, talk about your failures. Let them in the seat beside you. Let them be close to you at this time.
It's really interesting. It's like I haven't maintained my authenticity per se. I've maintained my character, right? I've maintained my beliefs, character in two senses. I've maintained my character of Will Smith, and I've maintained my personal character of what I believe in.
Letting go of control. God puts promises and dreams in all of our hearts. We know we're going to get well. We know our business is going to succeed. We know we're going to meet the right person. But God doesn't tell us how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. And too often, if it's not happening the way we thought or on our timetable, we get frustrated.
And all I gotta do, baby, is hold that focus and point toward my purpose. To know that in all things, the good notes and the bad notes work in harmony. You meant it to harm me, but God took what you did to harm me, and I am where I am, not because of the schemes of men or the failed plans, but because of the purpose of God.
You got to start writing down everything you want and projecting it out into the universe, because that's the law of attraction. That's how it works. You are your greatest remote control. Whatever you press, that has to return. If you want more people to smile at you, all you got to do is start smiling at more people.
Listen to me, you got greatness in you. Don't focus what has happened to you. It's a blessing from God, setting you up for the next greatest version of yourself, setting you up for the next chapter in your life. It's a setup for a comeback. You've got comeback power. I'm telling you what I know.
God has a lot to say in His Word about the benefits of working in a team, about the benefit of accountability, about being mutually accountable and giving mutual support to each other. And if you both share your goals, you help each other out. Accountability helps you make consistent, steady progress in your life.
Perfect love casts out fear. You'll never get rid of fear unless you know that God loves you, because the only reason that God ever gives and not fear is because I am with you. Fear not, for I am with you. Well, what are you going to do, God? Whatever needs to be done. You're my baby. I love you. I'll take care of you. Just trust me.
You can't steal my joy. I have a weapon. My perspective on this word perseverance, someone say perseverance. My perspective on the word perseverance is what's going to produce joy in my life. Perseverance means to continue in a state of grace, to not give up. He who starts something is faithful to complete it.
Do what you have to do because you're charmed, you're charismatic, you're articulate, you have ideas, you have visions for things that you want to do for your life and your career. But no one will ever know anything about your visions, your ideas, because it's out of sight, out of mind. I will never have you in mind for anything if you don't get on my radar. You don't exist until you see to it that you exist.
You travel, you speak, you all this. It's all great and dandy for most people. I'm Goggins. What makes me me is the dungeon. And and people go, well, oh my God, like they're gonna hear this, my God, you don't have any peace in your life. Don't get it twisted. Weak people who hear me get all poopy pants about how I talk. So be it.
Hey, everybody hopes things will get better, but remember, the future does not get better by hope. It gets better by plan. And hope unaided by clear plans can finally become an illness. Hope long delayed makes the heart sick. It's a sickness. I used to have the illness known as passive hope. It's bad.
There are tremendous lessons to be learned, and I'm working real hard every day saying, okay, what am I learning? So when somebody comes and says, they talk to me about a failure in their life, I care for them, so I listen to their failure, but honestly, as soon as they're done telling about the mess up they've had in their life, the question I have for them is, well, what did you learn?
In terms of authenticity, the character Will Smith signs every autograph and is always happy and wants to see the fans and is always in a good mood, and that's actually not authentic. I do want to slap somebody, every once in a while. So in terms of authenticity, I have successfully maintained positivity, and now I'm working more to maintain authenticity.
Keep being a person of excellence. Keep dreaming, keep stretching. The naysayers cannot stop your purpose. The negative chatter is just noise to try to get you distracted. Don't take the bait. Stay focused and leave your reputation in God's hands. If you'll do this, I believe and declare you're going to see vindication, promotion, negative situations are about to turn around.
Oh Lord, send this word where it's supposed to go today. Send it like an arrow flying through the night sky. Send it like an arrow. Send it, Lord. I know that alongside each deep trauma and every breaking disappointment and crushing, there are those little things, those little foxes that spoil the vine. Sometimes it's not the height of the wall. Sometimes it's the lack of our strength because we are not rooted in you.
You want more people to shake your hand? You got to stick your hand out to more people. Everybody ain't gonna shake it, but a whole lot of people will. That's the law of attraction. You think rich, you get rich. You think poor, here come poor.
One day, I will have my own event and have my own speaking summits. One day, I will train speakers. One day, I will take speakers across the country and around the world. He ignited something in me. Oh, I took the initiative. Become so great that they can't ignore you.
Inch by inch, anything is a cinch. Life by the yard is hard, but by the inch, it's a cinch. Know where you're headed, and you will stay on solid ground. If you know where you're headed, you've marked out your steps, you've considered the barriers, you've done all these first 5 steps that I've talked about, then he says you're going to stay on solid ground.
You say out loud, out of your mouth, I don't care how you try to make me feel, devil, I believe in God. Come on, speaking the word out of your mouth is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So how do you feel about yourself? I had to get that straightened out in my life because I didn't like myself. I didn't like my personality. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like my thighs. You got to make peace with yourself.
But watch this. There's really only 2 responses that God will show up and respond to your chains of suffering. You got to get this today. God will either break your chains of suffering, or God will use your chains of suffering. And more often than not, what I've discovered about God is that if he doesn't break it, he will always use it.
Everybody who hears me loves me. You can be real popular, in Crested Butte, Colorado, but nobody knows who you are. Out of sight, out of mind. Are you packing your bag yet? This is the confirmation that you was waiting on. Are you on the freeway yet? Are you using your frequent flyer miles that you borrowed from other people?
People go, man, but my God, like you're changing. I get all that, man. But what the is motivating you in that book? What's motivating you is the stories I'm telling you about what I did in my life. Once I stop living that, I'm no more. I am not the that you are now being motivated from. So right now in the mirror, I now got back to Goggins. I'm now back to running 100 miles a week.
Understand that your goals, whatever they are affecting you all day long. Your goals affect your handshake, your attitude, how you feel. Your goals affect how you look, how you dress, how you walk, how you talk. All day, every day. Your personality, conversation, activity. It's all affected by your goals.
I have creative emotions because I know there's an answer, so I'm looking for that answer. And I'm grateful right now because I have forced rest time and it's helped me with my health and I have a book on transformation, Change Your World, that I've needed to write, and now I've got time to write it. Let them sit beside you and let them feel the emotions that you're going through.
I'm granting myself the freedom to not give a when I don't give a right? And now I'm working into a space of much more authenticity. I've never really been awards minded, right? So I like it, everybody, you prefer to win than lose.
You got 4, right?
If you're gonna be 4, I actually don't know.
There's some relationship between the imaginary ideal and reality itself that's not trivial. And I don't know what that might mean in the final analysis.
The secret to getting results that last is to never stop making improvements. It's remarkable what you can build if you just don't stop. It's remarkable the business you can build if you don't stop working. It's remarkable the body you can build if you don't stop training. It's remarkable the knowledge you can build if you don't stop learning. It's also remarkable the fortune you can build if you don't stop saving. It's remarkable the friendships you can build if you don't stop caring. Small habits don't add up, they compound. So what I want you to do right now is to think about the habits that you think that they can add value to your routine or to you on a daily basis or on a regular basis. So I want you to think about these habits and you start taking action. It's all about taking action. You start taking action and you start seeing the results. What I also need you to do is to take a leap of faith and believe in yourself. And you say every day when you wake up that you can do it, that you can turn your life into a better one, that you can be a better version of yourself. Every day you say that and you practice the habits that can lead you to turn these dreams into reality. And I promise you that one day after all this discipline and commitment, you will see the results desired.
I don't care who you are, how much more money you have, how much more you are statistically compared to me. I am not afraid of your rejection. I am not afraid of your no. I am not afraid of you turning me down.
You know what depression is? Depression is when you finally give up hope that it will ever be any different than it is right now.
God has it all planned out. He's doing things you can't see. There are good breaks coming, healing, favor, the right people. They're already on your schedule.
I grew up rooted in fear. That was all I knew. And so it took me a long time to trust, and it took me a long time to learn how to believe that good things would happen to me.
We live in a world today that if it bleeds, it reads. And so we like people that are successful, but man, we really, for some reason, are drawn to the fall. all eyes watching. How's that person going to respond in that valley?
A righteous person may fall 7 times, but he gets back up. That's resilience.
Everything that I've gone through, some things happen to you, some things happen for you. I'm saying to you, keep the faith.
The perspective of life, that perspective of life right there, that is the value that we lose. When things start to come so easy in life.
Well, let me tell you something. If you can get through that crisis and lead through that crisis and help people get through that crisis, you're going to gain respect.
When I start creating what I want next, I don't bring all my old patterns and all my old mistakes and all the personality types that I attract that create drama for me. How do I create something new?
What kind of person will I have to become to get all I want? The answer to this will give you some personal development goals.
I find it useful to contemplate the highest good on a continual basis. I'm trying to keep myself oriented in that direction. It's a religious orientation, fundamentally.
You should be aware of everything that's going on in your life. You should take action and take responsibility and try to forgive so you can grow.
When you have confidence, when you say your name, you look someone in their face. It doesn't matter what they think of me, I know what I think of myself. I am, repeat after me, I am great. I am amazing. Say it louder with more confidence. I am significant.
How many of you are sitting in a now that used to be a never in your life? How many of you never thought you would finish? Let's start. 8th grade. I was gonna go to college, but I was like, we should work our way up. How many of you never thought you'd finish high school? How many of you never thought you'd finish college? You went to college. Y'all, I still have dreams sometimes that I didn't finish college. To this day.
If you'll release control, then you can enjoy your life while you're waiting for things to change. What's upsetting you? What's keeping you awake at night? God is saying, release it to me. I'm in control. I'm ordering your steps. I'm working behind the scenes. It may not be good, but I'm going to turn it for your good.
I had had so many bad things happen that I got to the point where I expected them. You know, I was just kind of like always waiting to see what the next bad thing was going to be. Well, I've made a 180-degree turn, and now one of the things I say every day is something good is going to happen to me today.
I want to encourage you today that suffering is creating a stage for God's glory. I know that the enemy meant for evil, but God's turned it around for good because people are watching me like never before. And guess what? Chains are loud. Chains make noise. I wonder, what are your chains saying? What are your chains singing? Because people's ears and eyes are open to you like never ever before.
The reality is that we discover what doesn't work and what works by what doesn't work. A righteous person may fall 7 times. That's called a misstep. A righteous person, even righteous people, even good people screw up, mess up. Even good people stumble, make missteps. I have made thousands of missteps in my life.
Keep the faith, baby. Don't you give up. Keep the faith. Don't judge according to appearances. Keep the faith. Keep on coming back. Find a way to win. I've slept in a garbage dumpster outside. I didn't focus on the cold. No. It was my Ritz-Carlton. I was focused on I can make it.
I was able to visualize every rep. So I visualized my hand placement, making sure that felt right before I got going. I didn't ignore all the little pains. My hands got sweaty. Okay, that means I was aware of everything. That means my hand's about to rip. It's getting sweaty. Wipe it off. Be aware. Everything. I was totally in the moment because of how I visualized everything.
Give thanks in all circumstances. Boy, that's a relevant word, isn't it? Give thanks in all circumstances. It doesn't say give thanks because you're in a bad situation, but just give thanks because you're in it. In all circumstances, no matter what it is, because it's going to, with the right perspective, it's going to make you and I better.
I invite you to think about that, because you can create anything that you want to create. The only thing that is holding you back is the garbage you tell yourself. The only thing, and I realize there may be some really heavy stuff you've dealt with in your life. You maybe have faced some serious abuse. You may have been the victim of crimes. You have maybe faced severe discrimination. You're not responsible for any of that, but you have a responsibility for how you heal yourself and how you move forward.
There's nothing you can do about the past, but you can do a great deal about your future. You don't have to be the same person you were yesterday. You can make changes in your life, absolutely startling changes, in a fairly short period of time. You can make changes you can't even conceive of now. If you give yourself a chance, your abilities will grow. You have untapped talents and potential that you haven't even reached for yet.
There's no escaping the questions of the ultimate meaning of life. How do I decide if my inner voice is healthy or not, and how do I maintain it healthily? Now, that's a really interesting question of conscience. Carl Jung would take that conceptualization somewhat farther. He would have considered it the voice of the self, which is in part the voice of the ethic that's derived from the broader community.
I am smart. I am beautiful. I am special. I could stand up with all the confidence in the world. I am smart. No one can stop me but me. The only person that could ever stand in my way is me. And me standing in my way is not an option.
The devil says never. Over and over and over and over again. Because the devil understands the power of repetition better than you do. The devil, and we talked about the devil is a liar, but he doesn't sound like a liar. He sounds like you. His native language is lying. And one of his favorite words is never.
Those who have believed enter into rest. Once you've believed, you don't have to figure everything out. You may not see anything changing. You'll be tempted to worry. Stay at rest. When you're at rest, you're showing God that you trust Him. Maybe you're believing for your health to improve, but the medical report is not getting better. You thought it would have happened by now. You could be worried, complaining, but instead you're thanking God.
Something good is going to happen to me today, and something good is going to happen through me today. Don't just want good stuff for yourself. Want what God gives you to flow through you to other people. That's when you really get happy, when you want to live to make other people happy. Let me say that again. That's when you really get happy, when you live to make other people happy.
The stage has never been better. It's never been bigger. Everything that the enemy went to hurt me, it's had the opposite effect. People are watching me suffer well, and they're saying, what's that thing on the inside of you? It was a painful time. It was a scary time. It was a heavy time, man. It's just like, it was awkward. I didn't know what to do. I'd never been in that situation. It's scary. It brings anxiety to you and fear. But we're gonna speak faith. We're gonna speak life.
I don't know why, but the older you get, you tend to start losing resilience instead of getting more of it. When you're a child, you have plenty of resilience. You know, when a child starts learning to walk, and that child learns to walk, and the first 50 times, the child stumbles and falls over in a bundle. No child ever thinks to himself, well, maybe walking isn't for me. They just get up and keep going. That is the resilience you need through all of your life.
Tough times never last, but tough people do. I'm a tough cookie. You can't be a wimp in this thing called life. Oh, you can choose to, but I can say to you, that's a choice. We make decisions, and our decisions make us. You can choose to be a wimp, but I know this, that you don't have to.
When I get to 2,500 pull-ups, my hands start to rip. Okay, I get ready for that. So I started visualizing, how am I gonna handle the pain? Okay, then you start visualizing, okay, my nutrition was off. You start visualizing all these things because You have to mimic it 1,000,000 times, but I can't mimic 4,020 pull-ups by doing it.
But you can see all the milestones where you failed.
That's right.
And see yourself going beyond it.
That's right.
The lesson I'm learning right now is a crisis lets me know that if my living and my talking match. You know, I write books, I teach, and I give principles out, but you know, when a crisis comes, all those things I teach that just sound good that you write them down, they're getting tested now. I mean, are my values truly great values? It's going to be tested during the crisis. Are my principles and the truth that I teach and embrace, is it real truth? Wow.
Think about what's coming next and who you want to become. And what are these patterns that have held you back forever? Patterns in your mind and patterns of behavior, just habits, not good, not bad, just stuff that you don't want to use anymore. How do you update those? Once you understand that all human beings we're all literally just a bunch of people walking around that repeat patterns that we don't realize we're repeating.
As time goes on, you'll be able to reach deeper and deeper. The first thing you'll know, you'll be able to do things you never thought you could do. You'll be able to handle things you never thought you could handle. You'll have ideas that you've never had before. All of this is sparked by the goal-setting process. When you know what you want, and you want it badly enough, the answers will come to you. I can't tell you why it works. All I know is, it works.
The voice of the more thoroughly developed self that's still striving to be born. One thing you could say is that you experience violations of your conscience when you're not acting like the better person that you could possibly become. And so, to some degree, that's your higher self upbraiding you for failure to develop in the appropriate direction.
No one in the world can stop my greatness. No one in the world can shake my confidence. It doesn't matter what you say about me. It's about the way I feel about myself. I love me. So it doesn't matter if you don't love me. I love me because I'm great.
He brought me a book on our first meeting, and I was like, what's this? I didn't even really want the book. I didn't even really know who the author was. I said, what's this? He said, you just need this so that you can have a reminder that books do get finished. We hadn't started yet. He knew that I would hit points in the process where I would feel like, I'm never gonna finish this.
When you're at rest, you're in faith. That's what allows God to work. But if you're upset over what's not changing, worried about your finances, can't sleep because that child is off course, that's a sign that you've stopped believing. You need to enter into rest. Come back to a place of peace. You can't trust God and be worried at the same time.
I will not fear. I may feel fear, but I won't give in to it. When God says something, it happens. God gives you a promise. You get excited. We think it's going to be easy. Why, sometimes we're better off not to even tell anybody else. Just wait and let them see.
We're going to reveal the joy of the Lord, even though we're afraid, and even though it's awkward, and even though it's heavy. We're going to speak life, and we're not going to lose our joy. And what's amazing is we expressed joy from our stage of suffering. When we make a decision to have the right perspective of perseverance, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna quit, it produces joy in me, and I get a decision to say, someone needs to see me suffer well.
The missteps are part of the goal, getting to the goal. Here's the mistake a lot of people make, or it's the misunderstanding that a lot of people have. I've talked to people, for instance, they get a vision to start a business, and they go out, they put a lot of money into it, and they open up a business, and they rent a space, and 6 months later, you know, it just kind of crumbles. And when they fall on the path of reaching their dreams, they think the wrong thing. They think, God has left me.
Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. What's that he? The presence of God. Yes, yes, yes. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for being. Simba, you're more than that which you have become. Thank you, Mama, for your strength, for your example of courage, for your commitment,
get the chalk. I had to see everything over and over and over again. And when I realized I had to keep that visual, that picture in my head for 17 hours. It took me 17 hours to break that record. Yeah. So for 17 hours, while I used to be loud everywhere I went, I put these headphones in. Yep. I never listened to music, but I listened to one song, Going the Distance, you know, for 17 hours. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
For 17 hours, I had that in.
That's a lot of Rocky.
A lot of Rocky.
It's good to realize that we're not in control. And it's bad that a crisis has to remind us of that fact. What a crisis does is it humbles us. It's good for all of us to realize that we don't always have the answers. We're not quite as big as we think we are. We're not quite as important as we think we are. And that we need faith and we need relationships.
The good news about that is if in any area of your life you don't like that area of your life, whether it's your health or it's the relationships or it's the lack of money in your bank account, I guarantee you there's a pattern from your past that is preventing you from becoming the most amazing you in the future. You find that pattern, we break that pattern, we replace it with something that the future you is doing, and boom, you change your life.
Give yourself a chance to become all you can become and to accomplish all you can accomplish. Of all the important skills to learn in life, be sure to include the skill of asking. What does ask mean? Ask means, what do you want? And the complete formula is staggering. It says ask and you will receive.
How error-prone is your conscience, given that you're not omniscient? And I have an endless fascination with the movie Pinocchio. And part of that is because it taught me something very sophisticated about conscience. In the movie, it's necessary for the puppet to engage in a dialogue with his conscience because both of them have to inform the other.
Learning in life is a day-to-day thing. Everything that happens around us teaches us a side of our personality, character, or reveals something that is stored deep inside us. It's difficult to be aware of this in a world full of stimuli like this one we live in today. We jump from one task to another without realizing it. As machines, we act with patterns that we have learned since we were children in an almost automatic way. So if these teachings were not healthy, we end up acting in this way without being aware that it is not what is best for us. It is a plan that we follow without knowing where it's going, and that was not even created by us. We all need a plan, a path, a guide, but to make it for life would be impossible because it changes all the time. So what better than to make a short-term plan that brings us closer to what we want? That plan is called habits. As I mentioned at the beginning, we learn every day, but to be aware of what is happening and how to learn from it, there are simple habits. I will explain. Now, what you need to do is you take action. You must have heard this in many places, but to simplify it here in our head, we have thousands of thoughts and ideas that if we don't execute them or get them out of them, two things happen. They are forgotten or they keep going around in our head. Depending on the strength of the idea, it can stay there for years. Now, it's not about doing everything that comes into your head, but what you consider important as homework for the day, and if you have good ideas, it's best to write them down in a diary or in notes. In this way, they will leave your head and provide more space for new thoughts and reflections. You also need to take responsibility. We have to take charge of our life, of our decisions, and that most of the things that happen to us are based on the actions and decisions we have taken in the past. Taking charge of this without blaming anyone else will give us the power to take action and change the thing we do want in our life. Strength. I'm not here to tell you what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The experience of rejection can make us stronger in that we live, learn, and survive it. we get better at facing setbacks. If we figured out how to flip the script by finding the opportunities, we know that rejection isn't the end of the world. In fact, it may be opening the doors to a whole new one. Rejection isn't an empowering experience. It's usually a humbling one when it's not downright traumatic. But we've also been in the experience of having to reject someone, personally or professionally. It doesn't feel good, but it can be necessary. Sometimes being rejected has felt like strength training. I should mention that I hate strength training. It's painful and uncomfortable. It takes a lot of effort, but we get better with consistency. When we face rejection, it can be devastating, but we learn to get stronger. Maybe next time we more easily accept when something isn't right for us and move on with more ease. It may not be the kind of strength we want to develop, but it can be useful all the same at handling life's ups and downs. Growth. Rejection can also help grow us. Both personal and professional rejection can help us see growth opportunities in our lives. It's funny how these developmental areas can sometimes overlap between our interpersonal relationships and our jobs. We may see a need to develop stronger boundaries, more effective communication, or even better skills with conflict resolution. I often said that challenges offer hidden opportunities. We just have to be interested in finding them. If we stay in a state of blame, shame, or anger, we're unlikely to look closer to find those areas where we could learn and grow. We haven't wasted our time if we've learned a lesson. The lessons we learn aren't always the ones we want, unfortunately. Many of us learn the hard way, realizing that we have some growing or growing up to may be painful, but it offers us the chance to have what we want in the future. We can either grow through it or we likely go through it all over again. The 3 top recommendations to improve your outlook, increase your happiness, and boost your self-esteem are: first of all, we're gonna start with exercising. When you exercise, your body releases hormones called endorphins. Endorphins interact with receptors in the brain and reduce the perception of pain. They also trigger a positive and happy feeling in the body similar to that of morphine. This means that exercise generally makes you feel accomplished and boosts your self-esteem. I recommend that you choose a type of exercise that you actually enjoy. For example, a lot of people have negative feelings about the treadmill because they get bored. Find a form of movement that you find relaxing but still rewarding and challenging. A favorite option is yoga. Yoga is relaxing but still a good physical challenge. Most studios offer a free class for newcomers. Classes are great because you will have a teacher to help with your form. Being in a group setting can be encouraging as well. The second thing is affirmations. Affirmation is defined as the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. Including daily affirmations in your morning practices may seem intimidating at first, but they can also be so powerful. There are many different ways you can practice daily affirmations, and it's easy to get started. There are books and decks of cards with daily affirmations, or you can create your own. These may be general self-affirmations, or they may be inspirational quotes or religious texts. Some examples are: I'm confident and beautiful. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Be still and know that I am with you. My body takes me everywhere, easily and effortlessly. Choose whatever type of daily affirmations you find inspirational and motivating. Here's another trick. It's powerful to say it out loud. The act of declaring truth-filled affirmations can have a big impact on your mental health. Some people suggest it's best to say or read them yourself in a mirror, but others find that they benefit most from just repeating their daily affirmations several times. Say it until it settles into your heart and you believe it. Another last thing is reading and investing in personal development. Self-help books may get a bad rep, but these are actually incredibly popular and can be very helpful. There is a type of book for whatever you may be struggling with, whether that's anxiety, depression, self-love, confidence, your career, personal relationships, or your relationship with food. Reading books that help you gain insight into your behavior and worldview can be enlightening and empowering. Subscribing to newsletters or magazines that address topics of personal development is also a good way to consistently be renewing your mind with inspiration and motivation to change for the better. Now, these are the 3 recommendations that I would recommend for you, and I already recommended for myself, and I'm already practicing these 3 habits daily. These are life-changing habits. Just give it a try. You know what's the most important thing that you should be doing on a regular basis, but you're not. And you may get a little bit uncomfortable by this, but we as human beings have the capability to analyze things. We have the capacity to study things. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is to sit on your bed and to try to make this on your benefit. I want you to start thinking about what's the wrong thing, what are the dysfunctional things that I did, or I'm doing right now, or I'm doing on a daily basis. I don't know. You will get the answer soon when you start thinking about it. When you start asking yourself this, and you will get surprised. You will see how many dysfunctional things you're doing without even knowing about. And you will of course know, because who else would know? Only you know yourself. And I mean, by your own definition, the wrong thing, by your own definition, this might be a good thing for me, but for you, for your goals, to achieve your dreams, in order to be a better version of yourself, this may be wrong things to do. So what I need you to do right now is to make a list of these things, to start think about them, try to figure out all of them, and try to write it down on a piece of paper. And now, man, let's be smart here. What's the next step now to do is we're gonna go through each one of them, and we're gonna see what is the possible way so we can fix this. I mean, it's all about details. Don't neglect the details, because this is what construct our day, and our week is constructed by 7 days, and this is on and on. By building, it's all built from the details. So don't neglect the details, just focus on them. So maybe you're waking up late, and you know that this not going well, and this not helping you to achieve what you want to achieve. So write it down. Now, what is the possible way that we can fix this issue? And I mean, the answer here is not that simple, to get up early. No, it's a whole environment, it's a whole thinking, it's a whole process to take in order to fix this thing. Maybe you're going to bed too late, or you're keeping the work to do at night, so you need that time to rest before you go to sleep. You know, you will get the answer. You will have the answer, because only you know yourself better than anyone else. So what I want you to do is to start thinking about the wrong, dysfunctional issues and things you're doing, and after doing that, you try to be smart, man. You try to analyze, to study each one of them, and see what is the possible way to fix them or to do it on a good or a better way. If you do this, one day you're gonna sit in your bed and try to think about the bad thing or the wrong things that you're doing. And what's surprising here, you will find nothing, because you've put your focus, your 100% focus on these things, and you've been aware of them. This is the key point. You have to be aware of these things, and you need to have the willpower to fix them. These are the two main steps to unlock or to unleash the beast inside of you, and to start seeing life as a good place, and you will get a new vision and a new feeling about life.